All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show on the road. That's right, live stream number 2 today. I realized after I got off the other live stream, which was an interview with Mark George. If you did not check that out, you need to go and check it out now. Or rather wait. Probably need to wait. But I realized after I got off, Mob the Gamer had made mention, like, what happened to the song contest? I realized if I don't pick up the pace, I'm going to be a month behind. I don't want to do that. And I also want to get through without overlooking anything cool that could have happened in the mix that we just did for the April song contest winner. So we're going to pick up part 2 of that today. Hopefully get it to a point where I can feel comfortable sending it off to Eugene today as a finished mix. And we'll kind of do a quick synopsis, sort of pick back up where we left off for those of you who may not have been here on the first go round. So things are going to go a little bit quicker today, just because we're falling behind, folks. We need some more team members. We need some more live streamers. We need some more people. Anywho, if this is your first time here, this channel exists to simplify the complexities of a home studio and to help you, that's right, you, make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. The motto around here is that we can dream alone, we can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. And speaking of togetherness, these are the awesome folks who have seen the value in what's going on around here. They are picking up what I'm putting down. And they decided that they were going to pull out their wallets and sponsor that. I'm so very thankful for it. None of this can be possible without you guys. Generous donations are always welcome. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Now, on to what we need to do. Boom! That's right. We're back with this mix right now. And if you remember correctly, the last time that we ended this mix, we were using nothing but Waves plugins. And as you can see, I'm still sticking to that for the most part. I think there is a couple of places where I'm still using Pro Channel. Yeah. Like stock EQs on the Pro channels. But that's more something that I feel like is kind of baked into the console anyway, so to speak. So I'm not really too worried about that. I still think that we're sticking pretty close to our guns as far as using nothing but the Waves stuff. Let me go ahead and remove CLA Mixdown. And let me remove this L2. Okay. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're just going to start kind of where we left off. I'm going to give it another listen to get more familiar with it. And we're going to start diving into it again. So let's check it.
I stopped running away from you. Close my eyes, can't make it true. Smoke still rises from this burning light. My own eyes distort this view. A dreamer and a schemer lost treasures inside, overdrawn in this spectacle, a life of yesterday. Stop loving in a way that's true.
That's where I was hearing that from. Okay. So, little word of wisdom here. One thing that you can do when you're wanting to solo an instrument out to make some changes on an EQ without taking it out of context of the mix is you can do what is called dim solo mode. Now this can be set within the settings here in the preferences menu. And I believe it's in playback and recording. It's buried somewhere in here. Here we go. Driver settings. So you can see dim solo mode. Dim solo gain is -6 dBs. You can go down to -18. -6 is usually about right. What that's going to do though is whatever you solo, it's going to leave it at the original volume. And then everything else is going to turn down by -6. So check this out. So I'm still hearing the synth in the exact same volume. Everything else is being turned down by -6. Now we're going to turn everything else by -12. So as you can see, that's why I said -6 is kind of better, because it doesn't completely remove the entire aspect of the mix, but it at least gives you sort of a solo without there being a solo. So yeah, I'm going to be using that though to work on some of the EQ of this particular synth sound here. I'm going to move it along into the mix about right here.
Stop loving the way that's true. Close my heart away from you.
Okay, that should fill out the rest of the stereo field, I believe.
Blood still rising to this face in shame.
Fills out that middle section, the middle section of the frequencies a lot better.
Forgot your name.
I have no reverb on here as of yet,
The
though.
dreamer and the schemer lock treasures inside. Overdrawn in this spectacle, a life for yesterday's.
Okay, yeah, that definitely brought it into where it needs to be. So by throwing in that element of the reverb, you notice that it just gives it more of a vibe and a space of its own, which everything else is sort of inhabiting its own space now. So now it's helping it.
I stopped loving the way that's true.
Hey, Leon, good to see you, buddy. And happy birthday, by the way.
Close my heart away from you.
You know what? Actually, come to think of it, we don't get very many birthdays on the live stream because a lot of times people just don't want to tell us when their birthday is. Okay? We're going to change that. I want to know when your guys' birthday is. Okay? So start letting me know, like, in advance so that we can celebrate in some way, shape, or form. So today, for Mr. Leon Banks, because I believe it was actually yesterday was his birthday, but correct me if I'm wrong, Leon. But regardless, it has been your birthday. So, everyone, join along with me in singing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leon. You crazy man, you. Happy birthday to you and many more. Awesome. I'm not going to ask him how old he is. It's a little bit easier with guys than it is with women, but, you know, I'm sure he's, as DJ says, yes, 21 and holding. Awesome. All right, let's get back to business here.
I stopped loving the way that's true.
Okay, I want to hear that a little more there. And I'm just simply going to do that with volume. I'm not going to do any crazy stuff here.
Can't make it true. Smoke still rises from this burning line. I stopped loving the way that's true. Close my heart, it's true. Close my heart away from you. Blood still rises.
That's a good idea, Leon.
To this face in shame. My own mind.
All right, let's hear it.
Forgot your name. The dreamer and the schemer.
Okay, so this is the part where last time I got a little hung up on trying to get this specific sound that I was looking for. I think I nailed it now, and the way that I did it was by using the H delay stereo and some automation. So check this out.
Forgot your name. The dreamer and the schemer lock treasures inside. Overthrown in this spectacle, a life for yesterdays. When I stopped running, you lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, you lifted me and carried me.
Okay, so I really feel like the mix is at a place where it's good. I'm really happy with it. The only thing is during this section here, I want to add some more reverb to these instruments. I feel like they're not necessarily inhabiting a space. That's much better.
When I stop running, lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, lifted me and carried me.
Okay, so right there, I noticed it sounds like the synth just kind of cuts off, and there's no fade to it. It's just like gone. Where exactly does that happen? I don't know.
Lifted me and carried me.
Okay, it's right there, and it's actually, I think it's these strings. Let me take off the dim solo. No, it's the higher strings. Ah, is it right here? Yep, that's definitely part of it. Okay, so I'm going to come right here. We're going to split that and just give it a little bit of a fade here. Actually, we're going to move that up just a tad bit. Okay, that sounds better soloed, but what does it sound like when it's actually playing? And then right here, this is another place I need to... Okay, much better. Now let's hear that in context with a mix.
Lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, lifted me and carried
Much better. I don't hear that abrupt, like, halt to the instrument. Now, another area where I kind of messed with this off stream, like immediately after I got off the stream last time, because it was just driving me nuts. I was like, I can't go to bed until this is fixed. I wanted to add this, so check this out.
You lifted me.
Now, by itself, it doesn't sound the greatest. Listen to it, though, in context with the rest of the mix.
Lifted me.
Very cool. It gives it that little, I don't know, it's like an ebb or a flow, like kind of like the ocean. It's got this ebb and flow to it. I love it. All right, so I want to go ahead and start prepping this now. Lord have mercy. Thank you, DJ, for seeing that. I was not able to see that until I just switched screens here real quick. So it's already been dealt with, taken care of. Thank you so much to my moderators. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead into the mastering phase of this. Yet again, using Nothing But Waves plugins. And a lot of times it's during this mastering phase, and I'm going to throw up some air quotes because I'm not really, I'm mastering it, but I'm not, you know what I mean? But it's during this phase that a lot of other stuff in the mix will start to present itself as a problem. So this is why a lot of times I will even mix into a CA2A or an L2 or some kind of a master limiter. I'll mix into it. That way I don't get like crazy reverb levels after I go to the mastering phase. Stick with me. It does make sense. Mob says use the Waves SSL bus comp in your master channel to glue everything. All right, let's try it. Why not? Oh yeah, I've got my plugin layout back. So let's go to sort by manufacturer. And we'll go back to Waves SSL. Here we go. SSL comp stereo channel stereo. Is this the one you're talking about? It says bus. He says bus comp. I don't see bus. I see channel. Is there another one that's just for the bus? G channel. What's this? Is this the one? Ooh, whoa, hey. If this ain't the one, this is cool. Let me see what this does.
Me and carried me.
Yeah, this ain't gonna do much for me right here. Nope, not the one I'm wanting to use. Yeah, SSL comp, that's what I thought. Okay, let me head back over here and check her. Oh, okay, cool. Well, this looks relatively simple. Let's check her out.
Lifted me and carried me. Lifted me and carried me.
Ooh, it's got an auto. That's kind of cool.
Me and carried me.
Okay, so because this song is kind of a slower song to begin with, I think a slower attack and a faster release will actually benefit from this. And as you can see now, I'm getting about -4 to -3 dBs of gain reduction, and I'm making up about, let's go to 3.5.
Lifted me
So it's not doing too much, but it's doing something. I definitely like that.
Lifted me and carried me. He lifted me and carried me.
Okay, I'm gonna check out this. I believe it's by 𝗬𝗧 𝗬𝗀. It's called Subtle Glue.
Lifted me and carried me.
Okay.
Lifted me.
It's very subtle, yes, but I like it. I'm gonna leave it on there and then I'm gonna add something else here. I'm kind of playing during the wrong portion, honestly. I think I need to go back here to where everything's kind of coming in all at once and it's a little more upbeat. Right now it's sort of on the down stroke of things. So let's go to this portion of the song. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and loop it actually. There we go.
And carried me.
I like that SSL stuff though. I want to see if there's a... Here we
When
go.
I stop running,
Nice.
He lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, lifted me and carried me.
Just cleaning up some of that low end mud.
When I stop running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stop running,
Okay, so this is B4
lifted me and carried me.
after.
When I stop running, He lifted me and carried me.
B4. As you can see, there's a little bit of mid-range mud, some low-end mud there.
When I stop running,
This cleans it up perfectly.
lifted me and carried me.
Like
When
too
I
much.
stop running, lifted me and carried me.
B4 after.
When I stop running,
Okay, now let's put that limiter on there.
and carried me. When I stop running, lifted me
fun.
lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, he lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, he lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, lifted me and carried me. Whoa. When I stopped running, he lifted me.
That's what I was thinking.
Carried me.
Just like the T-Rex one.
When I stopped running, he lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running,
Okay, wait a minute.
lifted me and carried me.
Okay, wait a minute, because it is very similar to T-Rex 1, but the T-Rex 1, the stereo knob on the T-Rex 1 where you actually adjust the stereo imaging is absolutely phenomenal. I'm talking, it's phenomenal. Now this one here, I'm kind of wondering about, but I think I just heard some goodness come out of that. I'm switching it down to mono because I want to hear exactly what it's doing here.
And carried me. When I stopped running, he lifted me and carried me.
Okay, that's pretty cool. When I adjusted the stereo image while it was in mono, I didn't lose any bass, which lets me know it's doing what it's supposed to do. Pretty cool. Let's bloom that back out to stereo and give it a listen.
And carried me. When I stopped running, he lifted me and carried me. lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of clipping going on. Of course, I got it set to clip. That could be part of it. But I'm hearing it's like adding some grit there that I'm not necessarily liking for this particular song.
Lifted me and carried me.
I think it's this push knob. When I turn the push knob down, I think it gets better.
When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, He lifted me and carried me. When I stopped running, lifted me and carried me.
All right, might take a little bit of time here. Take care of these here S's.
When I stopped running, when I stopped running, and carried me. You lifted me and carried me. You lifted me and carried me. You lifted me.
I think whenever I added the infected mushroom there, I did like what it did to the high end of everything else, but the high end of the vocals seemed to suffer a little bit there. So I'm going to dial back the EQ just a bit on these vocals. It's like at 3.5 increase at 6.8. I think by doing that, we should be good.
When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me.
Okay, so 𝗵𝗲 Gamer is suggesting to add some tape emulation for some analog warmth. Let's just see what it sounds like. Couldn't hurt to try. Oh man, I remember this tape. I remember, who was it? Used to use this a lot. Oh, it was Real ADT, I think.
When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me. When I stop running, you lifted me and carried me. lifted me and carried me.
I like what it did. It added a little bit of warmth there. Let's start at the very beginning and listen to it all the way through. Hold on a second. Right there. What was that noise I just heard? It wasn't from this track. It wasn't from this one. Let's see here. Ah, that sounds like a shaker. Could it be? We'll find this mystery noise. Oh, it might have been from the acoustic guitar recording. No, it wasn't. Okay. Don't think it would have been from this. Nope. It's gotta be something down here. And see, that's the issue whenever you start adding a lot of limiting and stuff like that, is you start bringing up the noise floor. So you're going to introduce sounds that may not have been there before. Let's see. Very well could be on these vocal tracks. They're usually a good culprit. Yep, we found it. Now we just got to narrow down which one of these it is. And it looks like it's this one right here. Yep. All right. Easy enough. Come in here. Make sure this is not selected so we don't destroy stuff. Got it.
I stopped running away from you. Close my eyes, can't make it true. Smoke still rises from this burning light. My own eyes distort this view. A dreamer and a schemer lock treasures inside. Overdrawn in this spectacle, a life of yesterday. got your name. The dreamer and the schemer lock treasures inside. Overdrawn in this spectacle, a life for yesterdays. Me and carried me.
Okay, so just the first initial listen all the way through doesn't sound too bad. I'm hearing a little bit of some distortion, some saturation on the low end of the mix that I'm not happy with it. Best way to say it. But I do realize that I've got a lot of analog stuff going on here on the master bus now. I think a lot of that is just kind of starting to add up. So I'm going to turn the drive down a little bit because I have other things contributing to that drive now, at least on the NLS bus here. And then, let's see, I've already kind of addressed that here. That's just some simple glue. The SSL, I kind of turned down the low frequency boost that I had. I'm leaving a little bit in there, but it also is set to analog, which means it's going to be pushing it to those boundaries as well. And then the tape machine, I did turn the saturation down. I'm literally only adding, like it says 1.0 of saturation level, and then the rest of that is just being used accordingly. And then the ultra maximizer is set to the shaping to ultra. Yeah, so I think after all of that's in there, I think it should be good now. I'm going to go ahead and give it one more listen through all the way. Really, really impressed with how far it's come. And then the other thing was on this track right here. While that was playing, I just did some minor automation. I wanted to hear this guitar poke through a little bit more, and I think that might have been just a bit too much. But yeah, I was kind of doing that on the fly. So if you've checked out my 15-step mixing process, which you can download that for free if you sign up for my email list, basically this is the last of the mixing process where you go through and you listen to the whole mix all the way through without touching any faders or anything like that, and you're basically just writing down things that you don't like, and then you go back and you address those. That way you can finish a mix faster. You have a paper that tells you everything that was wrong, everything you fixed. Once you have nothing left to write down, you're good to go. You can actually officially sign off on a mix, or on a master in this case, and say, there you go, you're good to go. Now, last thing I want to do as I'm listening to this last portion as well is I want to get some kind of a visual. And this is where I probably will not use anything waves. I'm going to actually use the Boolean loudness meter. I'm going to see where we're at on our relative loudness and our peaks. So let's check this out.
I stopped running away from you, close my eyes, can't make it true. Smoke still rises from this burning light. My own eyes distort this view. A dreamer and a schemer lock treasures inside, overdrawn in this spectacle, a life of yesterday. Stop loving the way that's true. Close my heart away from you. Blood still rises to this face in shame. My own mind forgot your name. The dreamer and the schemer lock treasures inside, overdrawn in this spectacle, a life of yesterdays.
All right. I definitely think we are at a place where I feel very comfortable with signing off on it. Are there some things that, yeah, there's always going to be some things. So you just got to, sometimes you just got to punch fear in the face and say, you know what, this is it. This is where it's going to go. Thank you, by the way, 𝗵𝗲 𝗛𝗦𝗦 for introducing me to this. See, I have been so far removed from waves that I had no clue that this was even a thing. So this is cool. Very cool. There's Mike Russell on there. SoundCloud, Spotify.
From this burning light, my own eyes distort this view in a way that's true. Close my heart.
Very cool.
When I stop running, lift.
Okay, so this actually has a limiter built into it as well. That's pretty stinking awesome. So it looks like I'm actually hitting my goals, though, of -14 LUFS. This is the goal that I typically try to hit because it sounds, it's sort of like a middle of the road, sounds best on the widest variety of streaming platforms as well as YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with that. And honestly, having this ultra maximizer stereo on there didn't really hurt it. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it all. It's okay to do that. I think I'm hitting my goals sonically. The stereo field is all being utilized. Honestly, I think we're in a good spot. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this. I'm going to say this is 𝗧𝗵𝗲. And I want to say, too, what a pleasure it was working on this song. Thank you so much, Eugene Smith, for submitting this song in the monthly song contest. Greatly appreciated working on this. Looking forward to what this next month is going to bring. And I actually have exported. Let me make sure I get the right thing here. I have exported the actual files from last month's song contest. So we may have 2 listen togethers, and we'll just have to do what we got to do. So yeah, we'll get her done, son. I'm going to send this to the desktop. All right, export it, and we should be good to go. Where do we get a copy of the final? It's a good question. We'll leave that up to Eugene if he wants, where he wants to post that. He did, however, agree to let the multi-tracks be available in the VIP membership group. So if you want to get your hands on these multi-tracks and do whatever you would like to do to them as well, let's do that. In fact, I would like for you to start taking some of the multi-tracks that's in the VIP membership group and sharing those on the Discord, like mixing them and sharing your mixes on the Discord server. I think that would be a great way for you guys to practice and also improve your skills even when we're not doing live streams or when we're not having live events or tutorials of any kind. So yeah, we could even create some kind of a, you know, we could have like the song contest and we have sort of like a mixing contest as well. Whoever, like, the winner is chosen, and then it could be, you know, sort of like battle of the bands. It'd be battle of the mixes or something. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Either way, it sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, Eugene is here. Awesome. He says, thank you, Robert. It's been very encouraging and a learning experience for me. A little scary, but very much worth it. Thank you. No, thank you, man. That's awesome. I'm glad that you got some value out of it. And I'm glad that everyone else that's been here throughout this mixing process has got something out of it. At least I think you have. If you haven't, I need to know that too. Don't be afraid to send me an email and go, hey, you've been doing this lately and it's stupid. I mean, I'm never going to know what I'm doing wrong unless you tell me. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap up today's session. I'm going to get this sent over to Eugene here shortly. And then Eugene, all you basically got to do is listen to it back and let me know if you have any revisions. There will be 3 revisions included. Any more revisions after those 3 will require a minimal fee, but I think we should probably get it hopefully right out of the gate. But with that being said, each and every one of you mean a lot to me. I thank you all for being here today, and hopefully we'll be able to get caught up here soon on the other song contests. It's just like Robert to take a vacation. I mean, why? What we may have to do is actually postpone a vacation. No, don't do that. Postpone a song contest and maybe throw in another, I'll get another brand on board and we'll do some kind of a mixed contest for a brand. And then we can postpone the song contest and turn it into a mixed contest with a huge prize. Sounds good to me. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Yes. Do you render or export to SSD? Well, actually, no. I'm actually rendering just straight to the desktop, but when I'm rendering my videos, like the videos that I create, I do render those straight to SSD. I probably should render these straight to SSD. It'd probably be faster, honestly. But anywho, that's a question for another day that we can, by the way, if you have any questions, there's a thread in the Discord server called Podcast Questions. If you could populate that with a bunch of questions, I can actually build an entire episode out of just answering those questions. That would be super helpful. It'd be super cool too. So, all right, guys. Well, until next time, you know I love each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for being on the show today. And tune in. Stay tuned, by the way. We got some cool stuff coming up. If you were on the previous interview with Mark George, you heard a lot about a little bit of that at the end of the stream during the announcement section. But you're definitely not going to want to miss what's coming up here on the channel. So until next time, remember, we can dream alone. We can even create alone. But together, I wish I could hear you guys. I'm going to have to open up the Discord at one point in time while I'm live streaming just so I can hear you guys. But anyway, we can dream alone. We can even create alone. But together, we can achieve so much more. God bless each and every one of you.